The moment you hear these words, something inside you will shift. Because God does not bring a message to a person unless He intends to move them into a new season. And right now, as you listen, God is positioning you for something extraordinary. Before the 4th of December, God says there are 5 divine movements, 5 shifts, 5 transformations that will unfold in your life. Not because you are lucky, not because the world favors you, but because God has decided it is time. When God decides a thing, no force on earth can delay it, no opposition can block it, and no darkness can bury it. You are not listening to this message by coincidence. God brings certain messages only to those He has chosen to awaken. You have been praying, fighting, struggling, waiting, wondering when change will finally touch your life. God has seen every tear, every silent prayer, every moment where you stood strong when you could have collapsed. He observed your patience when others rushed ahead. He saw your quiet strength when nobody else appreciated it. And He watched your heart remain faithful even when your circumstances tried to break you. This message has reached you because God's timing for you has arrived. Before 4 December, you will witness God turning the page of your life. Every delay, every obstacle, every confusion, every disappointment, God is about to prove why He allowed it. God never wastes seasons. He never wastes pain. He never wastes waiting. When God delays something, it is because He is preparing something greater than you asked for. The preparation is complete. This is not motivation. This is not inspiration. This is a divine announcement. Your life is about to change because God has declared movement where you only saw stillness, increase where you saw emptiness, clarity where you saw confusion, breakthrough where you saw impossibility. 5 divine interventions will happen before the 4th of December. Every one of them carries the power to shift your direction, elevate your path, and break the limitations holding you back. First, God will lift the heaviness sitting on your spirit. That weight you cannot explain to anyone. The one you carry even when you smile. The burden you push through even when you pretend you're fine. God says it is being removed. The season it belonged to has ended. You are stepping into a lighter state of being, a clearer state of mind, a stronger state of faith. What once drained you will no longer control you. Second, God will expose truth. Truth about people around you. Truth about opportunities in front of you. Truth about the path you should take. You have been walking through uncertainty, not knowing who to trust, where to invest your energy, which direction leads to your future. God will separate the real from the false, the sincere from the manipulative, the path that grows you from the path that traps you. When God reveals truth, confusion collapses instantly. You will not guess anymore. You will know. Third, God will release something you have been praying for a long time. You may think it is too big, too late, too complicated, but God does not consider difficulty when He decides to bless someone. You are about to witness the manifestation of a prayer you thought God had forgotten. God never forgets what you ask from a sincere heart. He only waits for the perfect moment. That moment is approaching quicker than you expect. Fourth, God will reorder something in your life. Something out of alignment will be corrected. Something broken will be restored. Something stuck will begin to move. You have been trying to fix it by your own strength, but nothing changed because God reserved that restoration for Himself. When God steps in, what seems impossible becomes simple. God is not limited by logic, time, or circumstances. He restores in ways that leave you speechless. Fifth, God will open a path that will define your next chapter. A door you have been waiting for, a direction you have been searching for, an opportunity you have been hoping for. God is preparing it right now. You may not see it yet, but God often works silently before He works visibly. Suddenly, without warning, the path will appear, and you will know it came from God because everything about it will carry peace, clarity, and certainty. These 5 divine movements are not predictions. They are declarations. When God declares a thing, it becomes reality. When God sends a message ahead of a blessing, the blessing is already on its way. You are not being encouraged. You are being awakened to what God has already decided. God does not move powerfully in the life of someone who doubts their calling. You must believe you are chosen for this moment. You must believe God has seen your struggles and decided your reward. You must believe what is coming is greater than what has been lost. God is not sending you into the end of this year empty-handed. He is sending you empowered. For too long, you have carried fears that were never yours to carry. Worries about your worth, your future, your stability, your purpose. You have been standing in a battlefield meant to strengthen you, not destroy you. God says the battle is shifting. You survived the season meant to break you. Now you are entering the season that will build you. Before 4 December, God will let you see why He allowed the challenges you faced. Some people walked away and it hurt deeply. But God removed them because He heard conversations you didn't hear, saw intentions you didn't see, protected you from futures that would have damaged you. Not everything you lost was a loss. Some losses were hidden blessings. Some rejections were divine redirections. Some delays were divine protections. God will show you how every piece fits together. The meaning behind your struggles becomes clear. The confusion fades. The pain heals. What once made you question your path will now confirm God was guiding you all along. You have been in the shadows long enough, overlooked long enough, misunderstood long enough. Your visibility is coming. Your moment is approaching. The light is shifting toward you. Before the 4th of December, the world around you will sense the elevation God is placing upon your life. You are entering a season of divine acceleration. God can do in 1 week what you could not do in 5 years. Your spirit is being prepared for rapid change, transformation so fast your mind will take time to catch up. You have no idea how close you are to the breakthrough that will rewrite your life story. God has been silent, but silence is not absence. Silence is preparation. Silence is alignment. Silence is God placing final touches on something extraordinary. Your name is being spoken in rooms you haven't entered yet. Your future has been shaped by divine hands. God is pushing you forward even when you feel nothing is moving. God is shifting the spiritual atmosphere around your life. Your surroundings may look the same, but the unseen world has already begun responding to God's command. When God speaks, every barrier that resisted you begins to weaken. Every delay that held you back begins to collapse. Every force that clouded your path begins to disperse. God has initiated something in your favor. What God begins, nothing can stop. Many people underestimate the weight of your destiny because they cannot see what God placed within you. They look at your past, not realizing God has written a future that surpasses anything your history could predict. They judge your struggles without understanding the strength God has been building in silence. They assume your quietness means weakness. But God knows your quietness was obedience. Your patience was discipline. Your humility was preparation. God does not elevate the proud. God elevates those who endure hardship with dignity, who remain faithful in darkness, who continue walking even when the road feels endless. Before the 4th of December, God is bringing clarification. You will understand why certain seasons were longer than expected, why certain relationships ended before you felt ready, why certain opportunities disappeared just when you thought everything was falling into place. God was not punishing you. God was protecting you, shielding you from paths that would have drained your spirit, from alliances that would have misled your purpose, from opportunities too small for the greatness He is preparing in you. Some of the greatest gifts God gives are the things He does not allow you to have. You will understand now. God is revealing the wisdom behind His timing and the perfection behind His decisions. What felt like loss will feel like rescue. What felt like delay will feel like alignment. What felt like disappointment will feel like direction. God is preparing a new level of clarity in your mind. Your thoughts will sharpen. Your decisions will strengthen. Your inner voice will become more confident. You will no longer second guess yourself because God is giving you the ability to hear Him with greater sensitivity. Confusion cannot survive when God illuminates a spirit. Doubt cannot remain when God strengthens a heart. Fear collapses the moment God breathes courage into a person's soul. That is the transformation approaching you. God is positioning you to receive what you were not ready for in previous seasons. There were times you prayed for blessings that would have overwhelmed you. Asked for opportunities your character had not yet developed enough to sustain. Desired elevation before understanding the discipline required to stay elevated. God does not deny your requests. He prepares you for them. Now the preparation is complete. You are stepping into a level of maturity, strength, and internal stability that will anchor you in blessings that once frightened you. God is giving you the capacity to carry more, to handle more, to become more. The person you are becoming is stronger than the person you were. Not because life made you tough, but because God made you resilient. Every hardship was molding you into someone capable of holding divine responsibility without collapsing under its weight. Before 4 December, God will remove the last traces of insecurity that once limited your faith. The doubts you carried, the internal battles you fought alone, the fear that whispered to you in quiet moments, God is uprooting them. You will rise with confidence, rooted not in ego, but in faith. When your confidence comes from God, no failure can shake it. No criticism can diminish it. No adversity can break it. You are becoming unshakable. God is accelerating things for you now because your spirit has reached a maturity it did not have before. You have outgrown certain mentalities, certain habits, certain patterns, even certain people. Growth is not always visible to others, but it is always recognized by God. People may judge your past, but God rewards your progress. People may misunderstand your silence, but God hears every prayer you whisper. People may overlook your efforts, but God counts every step you take in faith. You are walking into a season where God will send the right people into your life. Individuals who bring peace instead of chaos, support instead of jealousy, honesty instead of manipulation. God is clearing the circle around you because the next stage requires people who can stand with you, not drain you. You will sense who belongs and who no longer fits your path. This awareness is not your imagination. It is God sharpening your discernment. When God elevates you, He refines your environment. Before the 4th of December, God is preparing a shift in opportunities available to you. You will see doors open that you once believed were impossible. Conversations will emerge out of nowhere. Ideas will flow effortlessly. Resources will appear unexpectedly. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. When God favors someone, the world is compelled to respond. Even people who once ignored you will sense a difference. Because when God places His hand on a person, the evidence becomes undeniable. Do not be surprised when you feel a stronger sense of urgency to pursue your purpose. That urgency is God pushing you. The inner stirring you feel is not anxiety, it is divine momentum. You are being moved out of stagnation, out of hesitation, out of fear. God is awakening parts of you that have been dormant too long. You are becoming more focused, more determined, more spiritually aware. This awakening is necessary for what God is bringing into your life. You have spent years carrying a quiet strength that nobody fully understood. People saw your smile, but not the battles behind it. They saw your calmness, but not the storms you survived. They saw your patience, but not the moments you wanted to give up, yet chose faith instead. Because God saw all of it, He has decided to honor your endurance. God is a rewarder of persistence. God is a rewarder of sincerity. God is a rewarder of faith that remains steady even when nothing changes. Your faith did not collapse. It trembled, but it did not break. It stretched, but it did not snap. You questioned, but you did not quit. For that, God has declared that this is your time. Before the 4th of December, you will feel a stronger connection with God, a deeper sense of reassurance, a quieter mind, a more peaceful spirit. The spiritual noise around you will calm. The internal storms will settle. God is not only bringing blessings into your life, He is bringing stillness into your soul. Inner peace is one of the greatest signs that God is preparing a breakthrough. When the noise quiets, the blessing approaches. There is a moment in every person's life when God pulls them out of the shadows and places them in the light of their true purpose. This shift happens after years of unseen struggle, uncelebrated effort, silent endurance. You stand right now at the threshold of that shift. What God is preparing before the 4th of December will not be something you chase. It will be something that meets you. You will not stumble into it. God will position you for it. You will not beg for it. God will deliver it. God is orchestrating a rise in your life that even you may not fully comprehend yet. God hides a person not because they are unworthy, but because their value is too great to be placed prematurely before the world. You have been hidden, not forgotten. You will look back at the waiting seasons, and instead of frustration, you will see wisdom. You will look back at the prayers you thought were ignored, and you will understand they were answered in ways you could not see before. God is preparing your spirit to handle blessings that once intimidated you. There were seasons you prayed for doors to open, but the fear of responsibility kept you from walking through them. Now God has strengthened your heart. Now your mind is anchored. Now your faith is sharper. When God elevates you this time, you will not shrink. You will not question. You will not hesitate. You will walk with certainty because you will know God Himself is carrying you. You are approaching a moment where God will not only change your circumstances, He will change your expectations. You will stop asking for small blessings because you will finally understand that God is not limited. You have been conditioned by past experiences to expect little. But God is breaking that mindset. You are entering a season where you will ask boldly, believe strongly, and receive abundantly. Before the 4th of December, something in your spiritual awareness will shift. You will begin to hear God more clearly, not with your ears, but with your heart. The confusion that once clouded your decisions will dissolve. You will find yourself making choices with wisdom beyond your years. You will respond to situations with calmness that surprises even you. You will know when to walk away and when to stand firm, when to move and when to wait. This new clarity is divine alignment. God is preparing to restore things you thought were permanently lost. There are dreams you buried because life convinced you they were unrealistic. There are desires you suppressed because disappointment made you believe they were out of reach. There are plans you abandoned because you did not see a way forward. But God is about to resurrect what you thought was dead. Nothing God plants in your heart is accidental. If the desire remained, the fulfillment is coming. God never gives a dream without preparing a path. If the dream lived in you, it is because the destiny that matches it is waiting for you. Your task was to grow into the person who could walk that path. Now you have grown. Now you are ready. Now God is opening the way. Before the 4th of December, you will sense a wave of courage rising in you. The fears that once paralyzed you will begin to lose their grip. You will feel an unusual boldness, a readiness to step into opportunities you once avoided. This courage is God-given. It is not momentary confidence. It is spiritual empowerment. When God strengthens a heart, no fear can take root again. You are entering a season where God will bring justice to areas where you were wronged. What was taken from you will be returned in ways greater than the loss. What was denied will be replaced with something better. What was delayed will arrive multiplied. God is not only bringing blessings, He is bringing divine correction. Every unfair moment, every betrayal, every setback, God has counted all of it, and He has stored redemption for you. God works in patterns that defy logic. One moment, everything looks ordinary. The next moment, everything transforms. You may wake up one morning to the same world, but by evening, your life may carry a different direction. That is how quickly God moves. Your spirit has already sensed that something is coming. You can feel the shift even if you cannot explain it. Your intuition has been alert. Your heart has been attentive. This awareness is not your imagination. It is your spirit recognizing divine movement. When God sends a blessing, your spirit detects it before your life displays it. You are on the edge of something significant. What God brings before the 4th of December will not be temporary. It will not fade. It will not crumble. It will not collapse under pressure. God does not give fragile blessings. What He gives is strong, stable, deeply rooted, and perfectly timed. You are not here by coincidence. You are not hearing these words by accident. God has been guiding your steps long before you understood the journey. God has been preparing your spirit long before you recognized the calling. Everything you have survived, everything you have endured, everything you have questioned, God was shaping it into strength. You are not meant to drift through life in confusion or defeat. You are meant to rise with purpose, clarity, and spiritual conviction. This is the moment where you choose the life you will live. This is the moment where you choose whether you will continue carrying old fears into new seasons or release them into the hands of God. God is calling you to rise higher. Not later, not eventually, now. You cannot wait for perfect conditions. You cannot wait for complete understanding. You cannot wait for life to become easy. Faith is not built in comfort. It is built in courage. Look at the path behind you. You have survived the storms that would have broken others. You have risen from losses that were meant to bury you. You have carried responsibilities that felt impossible. And still you stand, not by luck, not by chance, but by the steady hand of God. If God kept you through the valleys, then God will surely carry you into the mountains. If God sustained you in weakness, then God will surely empower you in strength. You are not entering your next season empty. You are entering it fortified by every trial you conquered. But you must choose. Choose to walk with intention, not passivity. Choose to silence the voices that weaken your spirit and strengthen the voice that draws you closer to God. Choose to transform your habits, your thoughts, your priorities. Choose to let go of bitterness, resentment, and memories that cage your progress. You cannot walk into the future God has prepared while holding on to the weight He has commanded you to release. Challenge yourself today. Open the door of your heart fully to God. Allow Him to illuminate what you need to change, what you need to pursue, what you need to release, what you need to become. Stand before God with honesty. No excuses, no pretending, no hiding. Ask Him to refine your character, strengthen your will, deepen your faith, sharpen your purpose. God responds to sincerity. God responds to humility. God responds to the soul that is ready to be transformed. Let this be the moment you step out of old versions of yourself. Let this be the moment you refuse to live small. Let this be the moment you break the patterns that have kept you spiritually tired and emotionally stuck. Let this be the moment you lift your eyes, renew your spirit, and commit yourself to a life that honors the purpose God placed within you. Your life has meaning. Your existence carries weight. Your spirit holds power. God is ready to walk with you into a chapter where your faith becomes your force, your discipline becomes your strength, and your closeness to God becomes your protection. Now rise. Rise with conviction. Rise with courage. Rise with the unshakable assurance that God goes before you, God stands beside you, and God strengthens what lies within you. Walk with your head lifted, your heart steady, and your spirit awakened. Let every step you take from this moment onward declare one truth: you are ready for the life God has prepared, and nothing will stop you from becoming who you were destined to be.